Hey, what's up, you guys? It's Tinch JK. How you guys doing? Y'all good? I'm glad. It's been a while, yo. How you guys been? You guys been okay? Yeah? It's been okay for me too. It's been alright. Just chilling and stuff. By the way, first thing I want to do is say Guten Tag. No. Danke sehr. Danke schön. Yeah, you know who it is. Thank you. Um, Another thing is I just kind of wanted to talk about my life for a second. I was kind of thinking about my past for a second. Because all of a sudden, after I quit weed, right? I'm going about 7, 8 months now. Thank you very much. Yes, it's been a while, and it's everything is becoming clearer and clearer. More energy. I actually got an email a while back, and this lady told me to talk a little bit about struggles with weed and what it feels like to be away from it. And no garbage, right? No garbage. After I quit weed, man, my life turned upside down. Like way better. I realized all my life I've been justifying it. And you hear all your friends and stuff like that. They justify it, why they do it. Oh, it's spiritual, or it makes me closer to God, or it helps me think, or it helps me sleep, or it helps me get away with pain, or there's so many excuses and so many excuses. And I'm still not here to judge. I know that you guys have your own reasons to do so. But I'm just here to tell you that, man, being away from it, it's the best drug of all, man. I mean, it's cliche, little bit cliche, but it's so true. And I was one of those doubters too, like always hearing these people turn away from it. I'm like, weak sauce, you can't handle the green, that's why. No, but for reals, moment you get away from it, your life just, it's like a freeway, you know what I mean? Like while you're on weed, it's just like you're stuck in traffic all day, just traffic, and just don't get me wrong. I know all the funness behind it all and why it's so difficult to quit. But give it a shot. You'll go through hell first. You know what I mean? That first 2 or 3 months will be hell, hell. If you smoke longer than I don't know 4 years or so, I mean, it's just gonna be really difficult to quit. But if you pass that, your life will get slowly better and better and better. You won't be paranoid with your life. You won't feel depressed with your life. You won't feel tired all the time. And believe it or not, you become a better person. Just generally, you just feel happier. You know, I mean, it might not be for everybody, but for the most part, I feel like you should give it a shot. But still, I'm not here to judge. I mean, if you guys still want to do what you gotta do, then do it until you can't. But I hope that you make that choice. Anyways, so I was thinking a little bit about my past, right? Because I was in class and I had this cringing moment. And the reason why I'm getting all these memories and dreams and stuff like that is because I'm not on that stuff no more. So all my memories are like rushing back. And it's strange because all of a sudden I feel nostalgic and I feel like I'm back in front of that couch and I'm like talking to people on YouTube and just like all this and this and that, and all of a sudden my old passions are coming back about like Asian males and black females, and like all of a sudden I had this like passion for like, man, black women got it so bad in the media, man. Like I'm like looking on like just randomly, I'm just looking through YouTube and looking through other places, and I keep finding all these like racial slurs and racial comments and different things, and I'm like, God, man, like you guys got it bad for reals. Not just black women, but like so many minorities in this world. It's just got it so bad. And I'm not trying to put like white folks on the side either, because you guys got it pretty bad on certain things too. I'm not trying to like segregate anybody, but those things start to come back to my attention, and these memories just kind of spark these like emotion in my life. And sometimes they're really good, and sometimes they're really like sad. But when I think about them, it's just, I don't know. I come to this point where it's just like, man, I kind of live life. That's what life is, just memories and doing things and making mistakes and just kind of like chugging on. Oftentimes, the bad memories are the ones that kind of, I don't know, they're the ones that make me giggle a little bit. I'm just like, wow. I went through that, and I made it out alive. And I'm like, oh, dude, I'm still breathing, you know. And I thank God a lot for all the lessons that I had in my life. I mean, I remember this. The reason why I was cringing in class the other day is because I started to think about when I was about 19, right? And I was in a community college because like I didn't know what I wanted to do with my life, and so I needed to take a little break. Not really. I was just lazy and stuff. So I took some few art classes, some sculpting classes, some wood shop, some real garbage classes, yeah. And like I wanted to be an artist, right? Like not knowing what true artists have to go through. I just wanted to be an artist because it's a very romantic thing. I wanted to wear the little muffin hat, you know what I'm talking about, the muffin hat, and have my easel and little backpack and travel France and Italy and Russia and all this kind of places and paint and like I had like that vision, that romantic vision. And so I was in this class and that's when, I started to kind of become humble a little bit. I started to realize, my stuff is not that great. Like, in my vicinity, in my life, I was pretty good. Around people I knew, I was the bomb, right? Like, I did AP art. I sketched a lot. I drew a lot of fun stuff. And people were, like, oh my God, David, like, oh, and I'm just like drawing for them and stuff. And I thought I was really good. And so when I went there, I had this feeling like, like, what y'all got right here? What, and I know my proportions. So you guys know that 1 point perspective? Oh snaps! You know the 2 point? You know the 3 point? And like I kind of thought that would give me an edge, but yeah, not really. Like people were good. It was so unfair. Like that was the first time in my life that I felt like a little tiny sardine filled with sharks, right? Like most of my life, I felt like I was like a big fish in a small pond or something like that. But at the time, I felt, like a little sardine or something. I'm just like, oh man, sucks, right? But there was another moment that was really embarrassing is that one day, the professor was telling us that, hey, you should bring music or like a CD into class and we'll listen to it while we, draw and stuff like that. And yeah, we didn't have iPad and iPods and stuff like that. That's crazy because I was 19, right? And that kind of stuff was sort of like, whoa, right? But nowadays it's just so, oh my God, so much technology and like, yo, you got that laser disc? And, I'm becoming too silly. But anyway, so I brought my CD not knowing that my taste in music is not quite up to par with the rest of the folks, because I'm a little different with my music. Like, I like everything. And I know no shame. Like, I really did not know shame at the time. So, I kind of liked everything. And what I mean by everything is, like, I really like Tupac and like Biggie and stuff like that. I like rap. I like Drunken Tiger, right? Drunken Tiger because I'm that Korean stuff. What was that other thing called? DJ Doc and all that. And oh yeah, and here's where the embarrassing thing comes in. Like at the time, that's when like Titanic was sort of still in the play. Like that's not when Titanic came out, but a lot of reruns, right? And so I used to watch Titanic. Not a lot, but often enough where I love the music and like every night in my dreams, and you're just like, I feel you, Celine, I feel you, and like I had that in my CD. Mandy Moore, like Walk to Remember. That was when it was coming out, and that movie, right? Walk to Remember with this girl who has cancer. And like this other dude's like this badass kid in school and they like meet and yada 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 and it's like this song that she sings, right? Like and it's just like I was so in love, right? Like I'm just like this kid, like I'm so in love with Mandy Moore and like or the character. And so I had that in there and like just bunch of and techno. How cliche is that? For real, right? Cliche. Like, I'm an Asian kid, like, listening to techno and stuff. I didn't like it so much, but I had it in there. And so I volunteered to bring my CD in, and I brought it in and just, I'm over here just, just chilling, just doing my thing. And, like, people were just kind of like, oh my god, I'm like, this guy's so weird. Like, cause it's like, I had no definition of this DJing thing. I had no idea how to do it right. Like, I didn't know that sometimes you gotta bring it up and then kind of ease it away. Nah, mine was just like, there's nothing. Fear, just nonstop ridiculousness. And I remember sitting there, and that's kind of when I met my really, really old girlfriend back when. And yeah, she told me later on in life, like, that's why it took me so long to, like, get at her, It was just like, she thought I was weird. I would have thought so too, now that I look back at it. And I just start cringing. I don't know, and I look back at that kind of stuff, and they're mistakes. I look back at it, I'm like, they're mistakes. But I'm glad I made those mistakes. I really am glad, because those mistakes made me not want to make those mistakes now. And I'm sure I make a lot of mistakes now, but like, I came to terms with it. I'm really thankful to the Lord, because if I make them now, when I grow older, I probably won't make the stuff that I do now. It's not the sense that we should go out and make a ton of mistakes, but hey, it might not be so bad to make a lot of mistakes. You know what I mean? And I don't know, the moral lesson is there's a lot of people that I get, a lot of messages I receive from people, and a lot of them are young. They're in high school, and they're kind of worried a lot. Just so worried in school. Like high school. Let me tell you, kids. Alright, 학생들 잘 들어봐. Okay? 네, 오빠가 좀 가르쳐줄게, 오늘은. Honestly, what you guys need to know in high school is that it doesn't matter. I'm sure you heard this a lot before in your lives, but trust me, high school, well, kind of matters, right? Kind of matters because you kind of think about it in your mind and stuff like that. But nah, it doesn't matter. Don't stress out about who you chilling with and who you kicking with, or who was popular and who wasn't popular. It doesn't matter. Life is a marathon. My dad used to say, it's a marathon. It's not a sprint. Many people in high school, they think it's a sprint. They go like, oh, varsity, I'm a jock, I'm a cheerleader, oh, crack cocaine, and then it's over with. You know what I'm saying? Life is done. So just slow down, get to your books, study, and learn about stuff, not just history, but learn about stuff you want to learn about, and grow as a person. And find your relationship with God now. So when you get about my age, you'll be much closer to God, and so you don't have to go through stuff to, get closer to God. Like, you got to learn as a child, so when you grow older, it's much more comfortable, And another thing is just like, don't follow the trends the media teaches you guys. You know what I mean? Media is garbage. They don't have your best interest in mind, man. The media message is the same. It teaches you to believe in yourself, that if you trust in yourself, you could accomplish everything. But the fact is, the media has made it so that you can't do this on your own. You just can't. They formulated a way that you just can't make it out in this world by yourself, or by your own strength, or by your own willpower, stuff like that. I'm not trying to be racist or anything, but they really have something down here, a certain formula. And if you don't follow these certain formulas, the way you look, the way you dress, the way you talk, and if you don't follow this criteria to the dot, it's really difficult to make it out in this world. I mean, that's some blunt truth in life. So this comes with teamwork. Teamwork with not people. Teamwork with God. You know what I'm saying? Like, he is your leader, and he will guide you the way you talk, the way you have wisdom. Wisdom is the most important thing in life, little children. For real. I'm sorry for all the older folks. I'm not talking to you guys for a second. No, but for reals, there's so many things that, you could be focusing on. Forget the Sweet 16 and the Mercedes she just got. It's garbage. It's dong. It's garbage, alright? You don't need to be like wanting that. God tells us very clearly to not covet. Because when you covet, right? Coveting is wanting something. Like wanting something that doesn't belong to you. When you covet, right? You forget and you can't see the things that God has already given you. Like you kind of toss it to the side. You know what I mean? It's like in Christmas time, your mom will like make you like a sweater. And she spent hours and hours and hours making you a sweater. Sure, it might not have been what you wanted, right? And then the kid next door got a super soaker and Nerf and got all sorts of stuff. But trust me, that gift is so much better than just something that they picked out at the store. You get what I'm saying? Like if you really humble yourself and to think about certain things, you realize the gifts and the talents that you guys already have in life is amazing. You just gotta look for it and ask God for it. And if you don't have anything, why don't you ask God? A lot of people always complain and complain. It's like, well, I can't do this. I can't sing. I can't, whatever. So many I can'ts. I can't do that. And the truth is, nobody ever asks God. And the reason why they don't ask God is because they don't believe in God. You get what I'm saying? And so it's like this vicious cycle. First, believe in God. He exists. He's there. He's in your life. He's everywhere. You can see it in His creation. God exists. All right? First, admit that in your life because it's the fact. It's truth. All right? And then ask. God says, ask and ye shall receive. And He says, the reason why you don't have is because you don't ask. And so just get on your knees or even sit down somewhere or even lay down somewhere and just close your eyes and say, Dear God, and we'll have to go through the other aspects of that, obviously. But today I just wanted to keep it a little simple. And just kind of, I don't know, encourage everybody out there just to be thankful for the mistakes that you make and to find joy in God and to always chug on and don't give up in life and do good unto others, for reals. Actually, I saw this video today about this guys. They usually do pranks, but these guys, they went out and found some random homeless person and spent about like $400 and bought them new clothes, got them a haircut, gave them like a few days to sleep in a motel, took them out to like a teppanyaki, cutting up some Kobe beef or what have you. And the look on this homeless person's face was just priceless. You know what I mean? It was the most amazing experience of this man's life. And honestly, it inspired me. It really did. There was some pompousness behind it, the fact that like they're trying to show off how much they spent and all that kind of stuff. But what I got out of that is that, wow, $400 is quite a lot of money, but for $400 you could change someone's life. And the one thing that I would add on top of that would be to sit down and to preach him the gospel of God and to not just give him the things of the world that will deteriorate. The next day or so he's going to go back to his normal life. But if you give him the gospel of Jesus Christ, that his sins are saved, that he is a righteous man in front of God because God has promised this world his salvation for us to be with him forever in eternity. This beautiful gospel, if you give it to this man, if he might have a hard time on this earth, but when he dies, man, he will be right there with you, walking into this beautiful light. Good times, good times. So all the brothers and sisters out there in this world, I love you with my brotherly love. And I pray that you guys always pray for me as I pray for you. And to do not be embarrassed to speak about God or Christ. I think the best thing to do in life is to talk about your testimony. And a lot of people ask, like, how do I preach the gospel? Well, I mean, first you might want to learn about the gospel, right? But truthfully, all we got to do is talk about our testimony. What changed you? You know what I mean? Like, how were you before, but what happened to you? what did God do in your life that made you change and want to speak about the Lord? What are you thankful for? And just kind of bring in the positivity. And I feel like that positivity is the light. That word of God is the light. And this world, as we know it, is dark, very dark. And we could always talk about dark things and say, this and that, this, I can't do that. But we don't need more of that. We need more of the light. And as you can tell, I often get attacked by a lot of people, not just on my comments, but in my personal private comments. And there's quite a lot of people who talk a lot of smack to me. But I pray that you guys pray for them, and as I pray for them too. And and I hope that you guys can help me out as the army of God, or ambassadors of God. That should be a more friendlier thing. But anyways, love you guys, brother or not. And I hope that I could talk to you guys very soon. Alright, love you guys. Peace.